The old house stood on a windswept hill, its darkened windows like vacant eyes staring out at the churning sea. Locals called it Widow's Peak, a name whispered with a shudder, a place where nightmares solidified and took root. I, Elias Thorne, a paranormal investigator with a healthy dose of skepticism, scoffed at such superstitions. But the letter, a desperate plea from a young woman named Clara, had piqued my interest. Her brother Thomas had vanished within the house's walls, leaving behind only a chilling sense of dread and whispers of a crucible. Claire's directions were sparse, the local map unhelpful. The house was a labyrinth of decaying hallways and shadowy rooms, the air thick with the scent of mildew and something else, something acrid and metallic like old blood. The silence was oppressive, broken only by the rhythmic crash of waves against the rocks below. I found Clara huddled in a dusty attic, her face pale, her eyes wide with unshed tears. She explained Thomas's obsession with local folklore, his feverish research into Widow's Peak's history. He'd spoken of a crucible, not a physical object, but a place within the house where nightmares became real. He believed he could control them, harness their power, then he disappeared. Armed with a flashlight, a voice recorder, and a healthy dose of trepidation, I began my exploration. The house was a grotesque parody of domesticity. In the living room, a rocking chair swayed gently, though no one was there. In the kitchen, a chipped teacup lay shattered on the floor, the remnants of a meal long gone cold. Each room was frozen in time, preserving the last moments of its former inhabitants. The deeper I went, the more pronounced the feeling of dread became. Shadows seemed to move on their own, whispering sounds echoing from empty corridors. My flashlight beam danced across peeling wallpaper, revealing grotesque faces lurking in the patterns. My heart hammered against my ribs, the rational part of my brain battling the rising tide of fear. I found a hidden basement, its air heavy with the scent of decay. Here, the walls were lined with shelves filled with dusty tomes, their pages filled with cryptic symbols and disturbing illustrations. One book, bound in cracked leather, caught my eye. Its title, scrawled in elegant script, Wreck, the Architect of Nightmares. The book described a ritual, a process of creating a crucible, a nexus point where dreams bled into reality. The ritual required a sacrifice, a vessel to contain the nightmare's power. The final pages were torn out, leaving only a chilling blankness. Suddenly, the temperature plummeted. A guttural growl echoed from the far corner of the basement. A shape coalesced from the shadows, a monstrous entity composed of writhing darkness and sharpened bone. It was a nightmare given form, its eyes burning with malevolent intelligence. Terror seized me, a cold grip tightening around my throat. I stumbled back, my flashlight dropping to the floor, the beam swallowed by the oppressive gloom. I fumbled for my recorder, desperate to document this horrifying encounter. The creature stalked towards me, its movements impossibly fluid and silent. I could feel its presence, a chilling weight pressing down on me, squeezing the air from my lungs. Then I saw him, Thomas, not the vibrant, curious young man Clara had described, but a gaunt, hollow eyed husk, his skin stretched out over bone. He was bound to the creature, his body a conduit for its power, his eyes reflecting the nightmare's burning malice. He spoke, his voice a rasping whisper, Leah, as you mustn't interfere. The crucible, it's complete. As the creature lunged, its claws extending like razor sharp blades. I screamed, dodging its attack, scrambling towards the basement stairs, but the stairs themselves seemed to shift and distort, the wooden steps dissolving into a swirling vortex of shadows. I fought my way through the shifting nightmare, falling, scrambling, my clothes torn, and my body bruised. The house seemed to twist and writhe around me, corridors morphing into impossible geometries, rooms expanding and contracting like a living organism. Each step was a battle against the encroaching darkness, a struggle to maintain my sanity. Finally, I stumbled back into the attic, collapsing into Claire's arms. She held me tightly, her touch grounding me in reality. The house felt different. The oppressive silence had lifted, replaced by a muted stillness, the aura of dread significantly lessened. Thomas was gone, the creature was gone, but the house remained, a silent testament to the horrors it had witnessed. My voice recorder, miraculously intact, contained a recording of the creature's guttural growls and Thomas's chilling final words. Days later, I reviewed the recording. Interspersed with the sounds of my panicked breathing were fragments of a low, rhythmic chanting. It was a lullaby sung in a language I didn't understand, yet chillingly familiar, a melody that resonated deep within my subconscious. It haunted my dreams, a constant reminder of the nightmare I'd barely escaped. My skepticism shattered, replaced by a chilling certainty. The Nightmare Crucible wasn't just a legend, it was a dark truth, a terrifying testament to the power of the human mind to create and unleash horrors beyond comprehension. Widow's Peak remained a silent sentinel on the windswept hill, a grim reminder that some doors are best left unopened, some nightmares best left undisturbed, and sometimes the line between dream and reality is thinner than we dare imagine. The lullaby still echoes in my mind, a constant, chilling whisper from the edge of reality, a prelude to the next nightmare waiting to be born.